So, good evening, all. I hope this is visible and audio also comfortable to you people. And today we are discussing about in introduction to Indian geology. Yeah, when we are talking about Indian geology, okay, just a minute, please. Next slide. Okay. Yeah. So in India, in different regions, uh, we can find a different rock types based on the stratigraphy and geological cross sections. And for example, in southern part of India and mostly in western part and southern to and western part of India, mostly we'll find Deccan traps. And when we are going to the north side or middle of the India, we'll find an Proterozoic and this and eastern part and Middle East part of the India will find the sedimentary terrain. For example, in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and this Orissa and Jharkhand, in this eastern side, we'll find all coal seams and all plenty of mineral explorations and mineral regions we can find. And we are when we are travel to the northern part of the India, most of the northern and northeastern part is covered with alluvial terrain. That is Ganga and Ganga terrain and alluvial field. So, and for most part of the total northern part of the India, we'll find this Himalaya, foothills of the Himalaya and Himalaya, so Mount Everest. So this, when we are observing these type of rock types or structures, and different in different terrains in India, in the western part and southern part and eastern part, central region and the northern part. So how these rocks are formed and this many of rock types, how we can find in different regions. In one regions, why we are not able to find these rock types, all rock types. So when we are talking about the Deccan traps, we are finding basaltic rocks and basaltic traps or basaltic lithological cross sections we are finding. And when we are talking about sedimentary and eastern part of India, the most of the coal seams and all minerals and sedimentary rocks like sandstone, so we are finding. And when you are talking about Hyderabad and this Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad and Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, some regions we are finding Archean age rocks like granite. For example, in Hyderabad, we are getting pink granite and gray granite varieties. And when we are going to the northern part of the India, we are finding alluvial fields are recent alluvial and these river fluvial deposits. So this type of rocks we are uh, noticing in the different regions of the India. So, for example, if you are able to, sorry, 1 minute. Okay, thank you. And so today we are discussing introduction to the Indian geology. Just I want to show one image. As I discussed earlier, the starting of these slides. If you are observing the this picture in southern port, DC, Deccan Plateau, and is about Bangalore and this region, and this is and PMB region and CKB in Kadapa. The crescentic shape, you can orange color, you can find out. And when you are observing the eastern part, EGMB, okay, and this central part and this western part of near to the Mumbai and some parts of Gujarat, Cretaceous volcanism is there. And when we are going to the Indo-Gangetic plains and Ganga plains and near to the Delhi and Uttar Pradesh and this Jharkhand, upper part of the Jharkhand, we are finding the alluvial fields. And when you are talking about Himalaya region, outer Himalaya and main Himalaya and foothills of the Himalaya, like the lesser Himalayas. So there we are getting sedimentary rock types with fossils like that. Today we are just I want to give some introduction about different stratigraphic regions of the India with some examples. And when we are talking about stratigraphy, some principles are there, like principles of the uniformitarianism and principles of superposition and principles of lateral continuity and principles of funnel succession and principles of inclusions and principles of cross-cutting relation. So like this is the principles of stratigraphy. And next, principles of uniformity formation, and this is proposed by the James Hutton and also known as the doctrine of unconformity. It states that the same natural laws and process that operate today has always 1 minute, and this is covering operated in the universe and everywhere. Present is the key to the past. As for the James Hutton, present is the key to the past history and stratigraphical era and stratigraphical time scale. Like principles of superposition proposed by Nicholas Steno, it says that in an unformed sequence of sedimentary or volcanic rocks, the older layers will be found at the bottom, while the younger layers will be on top. These principles allows geologists to establish the relative age of age of the rock formation and understand the chronological sequence of geological events. Next, 1 minute. And this is the geological time scale of our Indian stratigraphy. And if you are observe, these are main eras are like divided into Precambrian, Paleozoic, and Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. And Precambrian, when we talk about Precambrian, almost 3,000, more than 3,000 million years ago, it is formed. And this Precambrian, again, it is divided into lower, middle, and upper based on the and stratigraphic sequence and time scale. And when we are talking about the lower and middle and upper Precambrian zones, multi-cellular organisms and appearance of eukaryotes and fossil invertebrates are sorry, these are we can observe. And when we are talking about Paleozoic era, and which starts from 510 to 205 million years ago. And this is again divided into Cambrian, Ordovician, and Silurian, and Devonian, and Carboniferous, and Permian. And when we are talking about this Mississippian and and these are Paleozoic era, and most of these Paleozoic era indicated by dimension of invertebrates, appearance of first land on the land plants, and in this and we can call as in this Paleozoic era is the age of fishes also. And in when we are going to the uppermost years of the Paleozoic era, in particular in Carboniferous and Permian, we can find and these earlier amphibians and the abundant of echinoids and mammals like reptiles we can observe. And after that, after Precambrian and Paleozoic eras, we are uh, finding that Mesozoic era, which is starts 180 million years ago to and 125, and it is divided into Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. And in the Triassic and Jurassic and Cretaceous, we can find, and this is also called as the golden age of reptiles. rise of dinosaurs. So most of the when we are talking about the Jurassic era, and we can particularly we have to talk about this dinosaurs, and that this is the golden age of the dinosaurs. And next, after Mesozoic, in Cenozoic, it is divided into tertiary and quaternary. So, and this tertiary again, it is a Paleocene and Eocene, Oligocene and Miocene, Pliocene, and quaternary, it is divided into Eocene and Pleistocene. And most of the and mammals and are present in the age of the Holocene, that is quaternary, and human evolution will be in the tertiary, top of the tertiary, and that is Pliocene age. And mammals and birds are mostly observed in the early stages of the tertiary, that is Cenozoic era. And next, so in India, and when we talk about alluvial fields, as I told earlier in the slides, as I told in the starting of my presentation, and most of the river deposits and eastern side of the India and Ganga plains all are, and this Krishna, Godavari, KG basin all are covered with the quaternary Eocene, Pliocene recent alluvial fields. Then what about Deccan traps and this Hyderabad and the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Archean age, like granitic rocks. These are comes under the Precambrian age. And then when we are talking about this coal seams and sedimentary rocks, most of the sedimentary rocks in the coal seams and mineralized zones in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and Jharkhand region, that is northeast or northeast region or eastern region of the India, that is covered in the Paleo to Mesozoic era. So most of the Jurassic or dinosaurs fossils are discovered in these Paleozoic to Mesozoic. Mostly it is discovered in Mesozoic era. For example, in first dinosaur uh, fossils are discovered in KG basin, coal seams. So like that, based on the stratigraphical scale and India divided into particular regions, Deccan Troughs and Archean Age and these alluvial fields and northeast and northern part of the India, that is Himalaya, foothills of the Himalaya and Himalaya. Next, the time now, 1 minute. Next, just a minute. Hmm, I think it is visible to all. Okay. Hmm. Okay. When we talk about Indo genetic plane, just a minute. It is not able to move. Okay. So it is located between south of the Himalayas and north of the Peninsular Plateau, formed by the deposition of the sediments brought by three main river systems, namely the Indus and Ganga and Brahmaputra. So 2,400 kilometers long, and its width varies from about 300 kilometers in the west to about 150 kilometers in the east. Based on the relief features, the northern plain can be divided into the following regions. One is Bahabar. After descending from the mountains, the rivers deposit pebbles in a narrow belt. The width of this belt is about 8 to 16 kilometers, and it lies parallel to the Shivaliks. This region is known as the Babar. All the streams disappears in this region. And then when we talk about the second one, Terai lies towards the south of Babar belt. In this region, the streams and and make a wet, swampy and marshy region. And Bhangar, largest part of northern plain composed of the oldest alluvial soil. They lie above the floodplains and resemble traces. The soil of this region is locally known as Kankar and is composed of calcareous deposits. And lastly, it is fourth one, Khadar. The floodplain formed by the younger alluvial are called Khadar. This soil is in this region is renewed every year and in this highly fertile. So highly it is suitable for agriculture purpose. The next, and this is when we talk about extra peninsular India, the Himalayan mountain range stretching from the northwest to the southeast of India in this youngest and highest mountain system in the world. It is divided into three main zones, that is the Great Himalayas, the Lesser Himalayas, and the Outer Himalayas, each with its unique geological and topographical features. And in this peninsular India, it is divided into three again. The Himalayan mountains. Himalayas are the young fold mountains. They run from west to east direction from Indus to Brahmaputra, covering a distance of 2,500 kilometers. Their width varies from 400 in the west and the 150 kilometers in the east. The Himalaya may be divided into three parallel ranges, and one is a greater Himalaya or a Himadri, and the lesser Himalaya or Himachal, and C is the outer Himalayas or a Shivaliks. And when we talk about second one, the Trans Himalaya ranges, it extends north of the greater Himalaya and parallel to it's called Jaskar range. North of the Jaskar range lies Ladakh range. The Indus River flows between Jaskar and the Ladakh range. The Karakoram range lies extreme north of the country, and K2 is the second highest peak of the world. The Purvanchal Hills, it comprises Mishami, Patkoi, Naga, and Mizo Hills, which are located in eastern side. The Meghalaya Plateau is also part of these hills, which includes the hills of Garo, Kasi, and Jainitya. Sorry, Jainitya. Next, when we talk about Archean group, and it is divided into old rocks, metamorphic complex, and greenstone belts and cratons. In oldest rocks, the Archean group, also known as the Archean Aeon, and represents the oldest rocks in the geological record of India, dating back to more than 2.5 billion years. These rocks from the foundation of the Indian subcontinent and provided insights into the early stages of the Earth's formation and the evolution of the life. And when we talk about metamorphic complexes, the Archean group is primarily composed of metamorphism rocks such as gneiss, schist, and amphibolites, which have undergone intense heat and pressure over billion of years. These rocks are found in the Dharwar, Singhbum, and Aravalli, Bundelkhand regions of India, and they are crucial for understanding the tectonic history and mineral resource of the country. And in greenstone belts, within the Archean group, there are also greenstone belts, which are linear zones of deformed and metamorphosed volcanic and sedimentary rocks. These belts are significant because they often contain valuable mineral resources such as gold, copper, and iron ore, and they provide important clues about the early Earth's environment and the evolution of the life. And when we talk about cratons, the Archean rocks of India are part of large geological formations known as cratons, which are ancient, stable continental cores that have been resistant to deformation and erosion over a billion of years. The Indian Shield, which includes the Dharwar, Singham, and Aravalli Bundelkhand cratons, is a crucial. Okay, Preeti, connecting to 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay. Is crucial component of the Archean geology of the subcontinent. And this is a Proterozoic era, Proterozoic group, which is divided into three again, unconformity, sedimentary basins, and mineral resources. These Proterozoic group, which spans the period from 2.5 billion to 541 million years ago, is separated from the older Archean group by an unconformity, a surface that represents a significant gap in the geological record due to the erosion or non-depositional sediments. That is unconformity. And when we talk about sedimentary basins, during the Proterozoic, large sedimentary basins developed across the Indian subcontinent, including the Kadapa, Vindhyan, and Gondwana basins. These basins were filled with a variety of sedimentary rocks such as sandstone, shales, limestones, which provide valuable information about the environmental conditions and tectonic. And when we talk about mineral resources in the Proterozoic group, the Proterozoic rocks of India are also known for their rich mineral resources, including deposits of copper, lead, zinc, uranium, and diamonds. These reserves have played a crucial role in the economic development of the country and have been the focus of extensive exploration and mining activities. As I told, when we move towards the Orissa and the border of this Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Jharkhand region, having the mineral resource zones. And thank you. I hope you will understand. You got some idea the different regions, stratigraphic geological regions of the India. And tomorrow I will discuss in detail. I hope you understand this. Thank you. Just 1 minute. Stop sharing. So no one is there. And thank you and thank you one and all. Is there any questions from students? You may ask. And tomorrow, I'll try to come early and we'll discuss in detail about the different geological rock types and regions of India with a specific mineral composition and rock types. Thank you. Is there any questions from students? No one is there. I'll wait up to 9 o'clock. Is there any questions? Please ask. UG sixth sem geology English medium, yes. Okay, thank you one and all, and we will leave now. Chalo. 1 minute.